Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to take you through my go-to foundation routine at the moment. I'm always changing up my foundations and trying new products, so I wanted to show you what I'm using right now, the products I'm loving, the techniques that I'm loving, and just really give you a breakdown of my skin routine. So let's get right into it. We're going to start by priming the skin with Mineralize Timecheck Lotion. This I find is an amazing primer for pretty much all skin types. It works really well to control oil sort of in the center of the face, which is what I'm going to use it for because I get quite oily right through here. But it also does have a moisturizing system in it that helps to moisturize the skin by up to 97%. So if you are feeling a little bit dry or dehydrated, it's a great product to use for that. So just kind of tap it in your skin. It does also really blur the texture of any pores in the skin. So it kind of does everything at once. I know some people have even called it like an Instagram filter in a bottle. So that's kind of cool also. The next step I'm going to do to prep my skin is use Strobe cream in Goldlite. This is going to help to give my skin just a really nice glow. So I put probably about that much on my hands, and we're just going to tap this more into the high planes of the skin. I love Strobe cream because it almost creates like an illusion that you're wearing makeup, even if you're not. It also helps to soothe the skin, and it has a time release moisture system in it, which means it allows your skin to stay hydrated for the whole day. Getting into foundation, I've been going between two foundations lately. I'm going to stick with the Studio Fix Fluid. I'm using N4.75, so that's a neutral undertone. The cool thing about MAC foundation is it's very straightforward on how to match yourself, which I'm going to talk you through. But I mix some of the foundation on my hand with a bit of Strobe cream. So I'm going to do just under half and half. I just like to just do a little rubbing in. And then with a 170 brush and some Fix Plus in Goldlite, I'm going to spray my brush and just buff the foundation in with a bit of a wet brush. Almost thinking like a beauty blender. So pouncing that in. This brush to me is the brush version of a beauty blender, so a little bit longer lasting. Don't need to replace it as often or at all. And just really pounce the foundation onto the skin. So when you're trying to match yourself with the foundation, you want to look at your undertone, meaning really have an understanding if you see more pink in your skin or if you see more gold in your skin. If you see more pink, you can use an NW foundation from MAC, and if you see more golden, you can use an NC foundation. For me, I sort of see both parts, and I do like to self-tan, so that's why I went with something that's a little bit more on the neutral side, which sits between both pink and gold undertones. And then the number on every foundation indicates the depth. So the lower the number, the lighter the color, the higher the number, the darker the color. So that's how you can really sort of self-match yourself. I'm just kind of blending it onto the forehead for color clarity. And you can see that Strobe cream really gives it a nice healthy glow, which is what I've been into these days. So now, if you need it, I feel like I need just a little extra coverage under my eyes. So I'm going to take a bit of the 24-hour Smooth Wear Concealer, and we are just going to put a couple little dots under the eye, and same thing, just pounce this right under the eye. I mean, the name states pretty much everything you need to know about it. It really does smooth the look of the skin and gives you that 24-hour coverage. I've gone a couple shades lighter than my natural skin tone just to brighten under the eyes. A trick too with the Smooth Wear Concealer in terms of matching it, I find the colors are quite a bit lighter than every other formula that we have. When you pick the number of the concealer that you're using, you're going to want to go with a higher number. So remember I said the lower the number, the lighter the color, the higher the number, the darker the color. So in this particular formula, I'm using an NW24, where normally I'd maybe reach for an NW20. This is looking like a pretty good coverage right now. I do tend to get quite shiny personally through the center of my face. So I'm just going to take a bit of Studio Fix powder, and we are going to just apply that with a bit of a stiffer brush just in those areas that might get a little bit dewy or shiny throughout the day. A great thing about Studio Fix powder as well is that you could just wear this on the days where you're trying to do no makeup. It gives a good coverage, but it doesn't look super heavy on the skin. And if you spray it with your Fix Plus, you get a really nice look to the skin. So I know that's why Studio Fix powder has been so popular ever since it came out, because you can just wear it really whenever. So now we're nice and smooth and a little bit more matte in the center of the face. I'm finding that right now, I just self-tanned a few days ago, so my coloring is a little bit darker than what I normally would be. So to bronze, I'm going to use a Mineralize powder in a shade quite a bit darker than my natural skin tone. And just on a big fluffy brush, popping this right into the contours of the cheek. So I like to dust a bit on the side of my nose, whatever's left over on my brush, to give that really nice natural sun-kissed appearance. So already you can see the difference between how this side is giving me more dimension and this side's looking a little bit flat. If you have a challenge finding where your contours are, just tip your ear over like a heavy earring to your shoulder, and you can start to see the shadowing happen there from the light, and that's where you're going to want to apply your bronzing or your contouring shades. A bit much. So if you ever apply too much bronzer like I just did there on my nose, you can take your foundation brush and just press right back over top of it. Generally, I do like to do this technique regardless over top of my bronzer, so that it looks like it's a color that's coming from within my skin rather than sitting on top of my skin. A trick for picking up product as well, because everything's quite pigmented, you'll notice I do more of a tapping motion. I never swirl my brush into the product. So the last step is to highlight ourselves. And I'm gonna stick with a classic for today. Lately, I've been loving our classic Soft and Gentle. I'm gonna take some of this on top of a 240 brush, which is the perfect highlighting brush, and just pop this right on top of my cheekbone. I do like to highlight my nose because I think it's cute. So I just do a little on the bridge of my nose and a little on the tip, and do some on the Cupid's bow here as well. So again, using that trick of taking my foundation brush and just pressing along the edges of where I highlighted. That way there are no lines. Sometimes you can see a line of where the highlighter stops and then your matte foundation starts. So just really blend that out to make everything look like skin. Look at that glow though. And just to finish this look, I'm going to apply a little bit of lip so that I'm not looking so dry here. This is the Plenty of Pout lip plumper that was in the Petal Power collection, and it has a bit of a peach color to it, so I like that to just bring color back into my lips. And on top of that, I'm just going to use my favorite lip gloss. You can see how much I love it. I need to open a new one. This is the Dazzle Glass in Moth to Flame. Of course, we can't forget to finish it off with some Fix Plus. So just spray that. That will set everything in place and make sure that your makeup is looking just like skin again. I really describe Fix Plus, you know when snow first falls and it looks kind of fluffy on the surface, but then as soon as the sun hits it, you get that fresh layer of kind of ice on top. It's very smooth. Fix Plus is like your sun. So it's going to take any texture that you're seeing from the makeup and it's just going to smooth it out on the skin. So anytime you do makeup, make sure that you're using Fix Plus on top. There's so many great options. And that is it for my go-to foundation routine. If you want my help in picking the right shade for you or the right actual foundation for you, because there's so many MAC foundations to choose from and they all have great different key benefits for different skin types, just hit me up either in the comments or you can DM me on Instagram and I would be more than happy to help you guys find your perfect match. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed. You can also follow me on all social platforms at Kayla Bliss. I will see you guys in the next video.